Just for me personally, going forward with the game of basketball, got a lot to think about.
LeBron is the GOAT, the greatest at controlling the narrative around him. Instead of talking about Denver sweeping LeBron and the Lakers, LeBron alludes to his retirement at 38 years old. He's not retiring. That was completely by design and formed to take any negative news out of the news cycle. We're going to talk about how LeBron does it, who he uses, and the message he sends to his critics through his actions in controlling the narrative. Anyone skeptical about my comments? Look at this. Days after his retirement talk, his injury news dropped. He has a torn tendon or whatever in his foot and needs surgery in the coming months. It was Machiavellian. Not saying that's not true. It probably is true. It is true. But it's almost methodical that when that news dropped. Bron foregoed his surgery to make a championship run with the Los Angeles Lakers. That's the narrative. That info was given to select reporters with platforms to disseminate. Basketball reporters like Shams and Woj plugged in with teams and the league office, but also players. People give them information to be published at certain times. Access to information in exchange for reporting is a part of the game. It is what it is. LeBron is not the only player that uses that approach, but he is the first athlete, in my opinion, to have a multi-platform approach. He is the first athlete with a collective of media affiliates to defend him against his critics. It's like a team, a collective of men going in one direction, a team of proxies, people like Shannon Sharpe, Draymond Green, Tristan Thompson, Kendrick Perkins, Richard Jefferson. The list goes on and on. A proxy is someone responding on your behalf. The most recent example is Kwame Brown. Kwame was mad because he lost his money. My man went on FanDuel. He really thought the Lakers wouldn't get swept. He bet on the Lakers to win Game 4. He went online and complained that Bron got swept at home, and that would never happen to Michael Jordan because he played with him. The next day, or whenever it was, Uncle Shannon Sharpe said, "How can you fix your lips to say that when you on the Mount Rushmore a bust?" Hold up, Shannon. You do know the internet exists, right? You were caught in 4K, bro, months ago on your Club Shay Shay show saying you did not believe Kwame Brown was a bust. Quote, Kwame was a number one pick and played over 10 years. I do not consider him a bust. Kwame responded and told Unc everything we know to be true. He called him a fanboy, which I don't necessarily agree with, but to me, he's an affiliate. He wants LeBron on Club Shay Shay. I mean, it's obvious, and he's been a staunch LeBron defender for years, maybe even much more in the years ahead. LeBron takes care of his guys, okay? It doesn't really matter. So whether Shannon fights the whole Grizzly team, goes after Kwame, you could see how they're moving behind the scenes. Anyway, Kwame was like, "Bro, first of all, you're a football dude and don't even know basketball. How you got a real opinion when you fighting the whole Grizzly team in a sweater?" He said if you got your tongue out the way, he could understand Bron was not above criticism. And that's basically what Kwame was saying. I was just criticizing what I actually saw. But Shannon's 180 on Kwame's bust status was talking points. Those words, Mount Rushmore of bust, were direct words from Bron's camp, not Shannon Sharpe's words. He would have used that months ago, but he didn't. Now look at Tristan Thompson, who was on ESPN most of the NBA season. He responded directly to Mario Chalmers for him criticizing LeBron. Tristan said Mario is probably mad because he asked Bron for a spot on the Cavs like Kendrick Perkins, and Bron didn't do it. Tristan, in that same talk when he was on ESPN, he walked back those comments and said, "That's not what I was told." Bro, it seems that's exactly what you were told. Chalmers reached out to Bron for an NBA role on the bench, and he didn't make it happen. Then a month or so later, Clutch Sports client Tristan Thompson leaves ESPN for a bench role on the Lakers. A complete and utter F you to Mario Chalmers. I love it. It's like when Jay-Z messes over Nas. It's pretty funny. Speaking of Clutch Sports clients, another proxy is the Volumes star Draymond Green. Mr. Thank you for coming to my wedding, my king. Bro, I can't call no other grown man my king. I don't. To me, it's just crazy. Anyway, Draymond has appeared on many of LeBron's media properties, Uninterrupted, The Shop, and as we cover in this video, has a good chance of joining the Lakers. The video I'm showing you on the screen, it was a great video. Check it out. As mentioned before, Bron and his team has created a number of media properties, but really they're outlets to help control the narrative. Why? Because someone or Bron himself realized, someone on Bron's team or Bron himself realized he was generating billions of dollars in press coverage alone. Think how many Skip Bayless segments there have been over the years. Segments on ESPN, The Ringer, Black Sports Online, local media, whatever. All of that coverage helps attract ad dollars and advertisement and clicks, drives company valuations through the roof. Think about how many videos about LeBron are on YouTube right now. None better than this one, but neither here nor there. Don't believe me? Look at these metrics on the screen. LeBron is a big reason NBA viewership stabilized after Jordan left and the lockout ended. And man, my gosh, the Spurs winning really zapped the momentum of the league at the turn of the century. But the metrics helped. The metrics were helped by Bron, but you could tell over the 20-year span that there was a move away from traditional cable, and that's evident in this graphic. That's why LeBron invested in social media-based mediums such as Uninterrupted, The Shop, Spring Hill, podcasts, different YouTube videos. So the negative press evolved, and he evolved right along with it. Basically, if you are anyone of note, you're going to hear from one of his proxies or one of his outlets. You're not going to be able to be talking out there and not hear from one of them. He uses this multi-platform approach to his advantage, such as, his tendon injury and the possibility of retiring, combining that. Now, I know what you're asking. Has he done this before? Absolutely. It wasn't as good, though. This is when he got swept against the Warriors in the finals. The first thing out of his mouth after the series was over is that he badly injured his hand in game one and didn't tell anybody. Really. He came out wrapped up and everything. I didn't forget. Then there was Brian Windhorst giving his Bron-given talking points on how it happened after J.R. Smith's blunder in game one. That caused a moment in anger, which led him to hitting something he should not have and hurting his hand. Now, how did Brian, and he alone, Brian, have those facts? Yeah, okay, proxy. That did not go over well, and it was just viewed as an all-time excuse. This time around, they were better prepared with messaging. It was the alluding to retirement, then a few days, plus the injury news, plus the proxy fight with Shannon being let loose on whoever needs to be let loose on. A kid from Akron might seriously run for politics one day. I mean, when you look at it like this and really examine it, why not? He knows how to tell his story, his narrative. I got to give it up to him. Unlike no other, he is crafting a new level of content control that we have never seen from a sports perspective. Despite the fact that all of his stats, he just have to me, in my head, not lived up to the fact of being the greatest all time as far as like Michael Jordan and stuff like that goes. So Michael Jordan has never been swept in a 7-game period. Michael Jordan has never played in a game 7. Look it up. And as a Bron fan, I respect the hell out of the whole GOAT argument because he has made this into an argument. Nobody else can have a viable argument to this level. There's a lot of Kobe fans out there, including me, that say, no, he's the greatest. But this is, in fact, they're talking about it in the barbershops. They're talking about it online, wherever you go. Is LeBron better than Michael Jordan? He's made it an argument. But for me, it's just not there for me. And I kind of told you about it before. He's just been swept too many times in the finals for my liking. Michael Jordan is 6-0 in the finals, while Bron is 4-6 in the finals. But the most unforgivable stat LeBron is the all-time leader in turnovers in NBA history. LeBron James owns that, a forward. Jordan is not even in the top 10, and he is a guard. He's regarded as a shooting guard. I get people saying he's played over 20 plus years, so that is expected. And I absolutely hate that argument. Tom Brady played, 20 something years, whatever it is, and he's not in the all-time leader of interceptions, not even in the top 10. Old send the lady a dirty text, Brett Favre leads the league all time with 300 and something interceptions. Mr. Welfare is not considered the greatest of all time. All right. So on paper, a lot of people want to say he's the most careless person in basketball history because that's what the stats show. He's the all-time turnover king. Or the other aspect of it is he ended up getting the turnover record because he played so long. You play 20 years, you gather a lot of turnovers. And I can understand that argument. Okay, well, if that's the case, which is understandable, can that not be applied to the same level of logic to his points? Seems like you should have the points record if you've been playing for so long. That's just my thoughts. So, I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Really, really appreciate your time. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, and share this with your people. Yo, before I end this video, I want to do something different. Shout out to Certified Jake. He, asked me if I can give him a shout out. So big shout out to Certified Jake. And I thought about it. I'm still really new to this YouTube thing. I never did shout outs before. And I just said, man, you know what? That's a good idea. All these people on the screen have been super respectful anytime they comment, even if they disagree with me. And they've been rocking with me for a while. So I want to send big shout out to Lawrence RBE. DC4L, I'm assuming he's a Dallas Cowboys fan. Stack Peso, Augusta Panama. Hope I said that your last name right. And again, Certified Jake. So I appreciate you all. Just shout you all out for my particular channel. Thank you all for commenting, liking, and subscribing to our channel. Appreciate it. I'm gonna do a whole lot more in the this whole journey.